We put the flag and we have a roll call and all commissioners are present, including our two newly elected commissioners, Jennifer Clark on my right, Aaron Smith on my left, and so we welcome you ladies to board and enjoy lots of fun in the next 4 years. Welcome aboard. The first order of business that we have tonight on our commissioners' agenda is the election of officers. And so I will turn the gavel over to Solicitor Josh Vaughn, who will handle the nominations for the office of president.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. The way this will work, I'll ask for a nomination. There's no need for a second to nomination. Whenever nomination is made, I'll call a roll call vote. If that individual is elected as president, we'll proceed. If that individual is not elected as president, we'll go through another round of nominations until the president is elected. So at this time, I'm opening the floor to nominations for president of the Upper Town Township Board of Commissioners.
Solicitor Vaughn, if I may, I would like to nominate Mr. Fairchild, president of the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to call a roll call vote.
Commissioner Martin,
No.
Commissioner Fairchild,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark, Commissioner Overly Smith. Yes.
Okay, congratulations, Commissioner Fairchild. All right, sure, you may have my seat. I didn't know. I'm gonna drink water.
Well, we all go with that to Ken Morgan for all his many years of service, president. You continue, Josh, or how's it working there?
From now on, you do nothing.
Okay. So do we have a nomination for vice president? Yeah, we have a nomination for Aaron. We have a nomination.
I second.
Or is it a roll call again?
That's your preference. I don't know if we need to roll call for it.
Okay. I guess all those in favor, yes.
Yes.
Any no's?
No.
Okay. Record show 4-1. Okay, congratulations, Karen. And next nomination is for the board secretaries. There are 3 assistant secretaries who usually consist of 3 remaining commissioners. So how do we nominate those?
Would you have a motion to appoint?
Yeah.
Or to nominate the 3 remaining commissioners as the board secretaries with the chair?
I nominate Commissioner Walsh, Commissioner Clark, and Commissioner Martin as assistant secretaries.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. We received the appointment of township officials. Is our township manager, which is Ms. Kelly Stample. All those in favor of Ms. Stample say aye. Aye. That was unanimous. Our assistant manager position is currently vacant. So give over that to bring on.
What am I? I suggest we have one is interim.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to appoint Lou Fazekas as the interim. assistant manager. Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
And if I may not interrupt, I just noticed, I'm assuming that Commissioner, our previous action to appoint Ms. Stanwell, our township manager, automatically included the board secretary. Because those initially, we have it listed here as the assistant manager or the manager and the board secretary. Similarly, I suggest that we incorporate the interim assistant manager and assistant secretary. So the record, well,
Yeah, we amended to include the assistant secretary.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Cousins. Next we have our township solicitor, who's currently Helen Seagless, Mr. Vaughn, and I would suggest we nominate Josh and his firm again.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous. Next up, we have our township engineer, which is C.S. Davidson and Jason Whiteburn. I suggest that we nominate them again as our township engineer.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Here's unanimous as well. Next, we have our sanitary engineer. It's currently GHD and Joel Costa.
So moved.
We moved for nominate GHD and Joel Costa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
With that one is unanimous. Next we have the project engineer, which is currently TRG and Chris Swab. Suggest we move to nominate TRG and Chris Swab for another term.
I said.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Here's unanimous. Building code official is currently Frank Retola. Just we nominate Frank Retola again to serve the board.
Second.
All those in favor of aye.
Aye.
Next, we have Mr. Mike Well, super primary zoning officer. It's proposed that we renominate Mike as into zoning officer.
So moved.
Those in favor? Aye. That's all unanimous. Next, we have our police chief, Andrew Parsons. I suggest that we reappoint Mr. Parsons or Chief Parsons.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's also unanimous. Next, we have our treasurer, which is currently Sharon Shipman. And Sharon said, well, since I just saw it being sworn in, so we have a motion. Sharon. And all those in favor? Aye. That's also unanimous. Now we have appointments to various positions.
Okay,
So we have the sewage enforcement officer, currently Gary Moore. Also service.
Fair talk. There seems to be discrepancy in having.
okay,
Have the Kate Davis chair on the agenda. I don't see it listed on the bunch of issues. Doesn't that just the very first on the agenda? Should we be inserting vacancy board chair?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
yes,
I move to. Patrick. Approve for vacancy board chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we need to appoint the two new commissioners on the main board, or are they serving by right?
I believe they automatically serve on.
Okay. But I just wanted to make sure that they were.
So we do this from our own as policy, so two enforcement officers. Motion.
I move you.
Second.
All those in favor, Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have the alternative sewage enforcement officer, which is David Warren. Do we have a motion? Listen to David.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Next, we have the appointment of our auditor, which is currently Aaron Duzel. And suggested that we reappoint him I still do.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Next, we have the appointment of right to know officer, Bill Shucker. And it's suggested we reappoint Mr. Shucker.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we have the alternative right to know officer, which is motion. All those in favor? That's all unanimous. And we have the emergency management director. We've got Al Van Kirk. We have a motion to reappoint Mr. Kirk.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all unanimous. Next week, well, I think we should skip over the deputy director. Emergency management director, that's taken. Is there, the staff have a comment?
Well, I was asking the commissioners to consider the assistant township manager when they are actually in place. Which could be more, so if you'd like to name it, you could do that, or when we can wait and leave that needed at this time.
Well, probably then, no.
Well,
Bigger than that.
I don't know. I don't know that we would need to have a deputy this moment, but I think it would be appropriate to suggest that the new assistant manager. Or, I mean, I suggest we make the interim assistant manager the deputy director until such time as we get a permanent assistant manager and have that person assume the position. So I guess that's the form.
Would that be overcome?
Since I'm here.
Okay.
I just know before, it didn't go into the job. But that way we want. Pardon?
Late enough.
No.
I second that motion.
All those in favor of wanting to move the seat as deputy director for emergency management?
Aye.
But, Mr. Chairman, the motion did include that until such time as we have a permanent. Thank you.
That appears unanimous. Next we have the recycling coordinator, which is currently Kelly Stanhall. Suggested we reappoint Stanhall.
Don't move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's also unanimous. We have newspaper designation of newspapers general circulation. Do them individually or?
We can do them in a group, but before we do that, I would ask a question. This is a naive question, but is the guy still in the position?
I had the same question. I'm not sure if anybody happens to know. I believe they changed.
It is.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah,
But I don't know if they still publish legal texts.
I believe they do. We haven't used them since I started.
And I'm not making the other ones, often suggest maybe the Pittsburgh banner. It's kind of a publishing. And or
Not sure if they're considered. No, they are in York County.
Well, you can be a newspaper general circulation while the council's like featured uses, but I'm not sure if those for being qualified as a newspaper general circulation, you come to the county depends on their circulation.
I buy mine at Place Market, and that's so.
it's a fraud, I see the notices, they put county notices.
That's the issue that, Mr. Chairman, I move that we have newspaper the general circulation of Harrisburg, Bigview, Carlisle, Sentinel, the Guide, and Phillipsburg.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's also unanimous. And we have some will work together as a senator is assigned side that. So now I'm going to move to right over. President's announcements, but you didn't present that, Here, see, let me ask.
Yeah, you're right. You skipped it.
First, we have duration approval of the minutes of the board commissioners meeting December 3rd of 2025.
Yeah,
Uh,
wait, President Fairchild,
Yes.
we missed item 6 on the reorg meeting agenda, which is the appointment of members of the Stormwater Authority.
Okay. Skip that.
Sorry.
So we have, I'm not. We have a vacancy of, Jim Harlem, his term is up, but.
And I believe, former Commissioner Granio resigned, so I believe we currently have two.
Correct.
And do we all point ourselves, and how's that? Say group going one by one?
I believe the incumbent commissioners are still on the authority, but if it's the will of this group that the board of commissioners serve as the authority membership, then we need to appoint Commissioner Overly Smith and Clark.
That's the approach, whatever.
move down here, I know, Steph's in the thought.
I would say, it's just a strong or.
Point of order, the terms are not the same, so you need to determine who's filling which term.
Okay, thank you, Jim. This Alexis had it, which.
Rick's goes till 2028.
Or-
Rick's term goes till 2028, and Jim's term is up as of now. Up to you how you wanna.
Yes, definitely. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. I believe you. Karen. Next, I would, well, yes, but not. What's it? The term ending, that means 2029.
Or
December 31st.
2029.
Oh.
2030.
December 31st.
2030.
Date.
No, 2028. Rick's vacancy was up in 2028, but Jim's vacancy will restart anew because his vacancy was up
And how long are the term?
5 years.
5?
Yes,
So the one.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30,
In 2031.
2030. December 31st, 2030.
Right. And then the other one, when did Rich conclude?
In 2028.
So then we would just appoint someone from now for a 2-year term.
Correct.
2026. Or 20.
Yeah, we gave that to Karen.
So. Yeah,
This is the shorter term.
usually the longer.
Jennifer, 231. I'm not ready for this all.
Okay, so Jennifer is appointed 2026 through 2031, Aaron 2026 through 2028.
2030.
Correct?
2030.
Excuse me, I thought you said Rick's term ends in 2028.
Correct.
So we would be filling then that one expired term for 2 years. And then reappointing him in 29 or whomever. Right,
Right.
that is not until 2030.
Jennifer's.
Correct, but Karen's is 2026 through 2028.
Yes. But you said 2031. That's what I was correcting you.
Mr. President, allow me to further state this. We are appointing Karen Overly Smith to a term beginning in 2026 through 2030. We're appointing Jennifer Bononi term 2026 through 2030. Oh, you got the one for that. That's the wrong number. Here. We are appointing. They're appointing Karen Everly, Smith, the only by the term of former Commissioner Castrano to serve 2026 through 2028. We're appointing Jennifer for a term beginning in 2026 through 2030. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, for this is the job, second reading. And with the both, remember that. Yeah. You're second, all those in favor? Aye. So that's unanimous. So we were sitting for commissioners meeting, and we have the minutes for approval on December the 3rd, or the additions and corrections.
Mr. President, yes, I have a question on page 13, the first paragraph. Yes, speaking about the issues with responsibility for the bridge. Went through the recordings and all stuff. I know this is I would like to include it if that's all right. After the second sentence, the first paragraph, page 13, I would like to insert. Mr. Walsh noted the existence of an online petition opposed to the township taking possession of the bridge, which had only 16 signatures. And for reference, if you'd like the exact wording, it's roughly an hour and 27 minutes. I'd like to leave that after if someone else is upset.
I just, I call it the whole type of record or something, page line, posting the program. It was something about making point, it's talking point. And page 11, the third paragraph, which refers to all 5 groups. That's called all 5 groups, H, you know that. Is everybody okay with those corrections? Mr. Walsh and myself. We have a question.
Set the units number with the parentheses.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. Next we have the bills for approval. The amount of $512,265.57. For the motion, I did have a question.
President, I move.
Second. Just wanted to point out the larger bills, the final payment for the fourth grant on. But looking at out $49,000. And then I asked staff, how much we've spent that phase of grant upon. I believe that was all Kinsley construction for probably the dredging and the pier. Yeah, that's Christine. That was correct. That came to $669,000. That's the on. Just want to make sure it's correct.
I don't know all the specifics, but we got to do a lot of this first, but that was all for the plan.
And then we're going to be doing a second phase, which is the trails around on. So forth.
Kinsley is also doing the work down on code. Quarry Road, sorry. The small bridge down there.
Oh, yeah, right.
So-
I'm saying we're not on the other phase for the trail around.
It'll be phase 2.
Right, we're talking about this year, yeah, 26. And I forget, we had a cost estimate on that.
I'm gonna have to double check on that. I think we have a rough estimate. We did have put money in the budget for phase 2. We have to look at that and be about that.
And then you're expecting grant future. I think on that.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm in favor of bills, but all those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous. Next, we have some committee reports. The first one is the Public Safety Committee from Chief Parsons and Schopper. That's not Chief Schomburg, and Chief Weaver, you have represented fire department. We're happy to hear your reports. Oh, okay.
This is actually a chief son, so he's representing fire department. So, Our new hires, Catherine Bowleg and Alex Groff will be starting the police academy next week. Two of our new officers, Augustine Citron and Garrett Blake, completed their probationary phase, this past week. So they're permanent status with the police department. We're conducting a traffic study on West Lisbon Road by Troutman Park on a request, that's being done. And then just to announce a couple of retirements, Jim Miller, circa 28 years, with the police department, he gets retired in good standing. And also, Officer Robert Power, circa 25 years with the police department, and also it's retiring in good standing, so we'll miss those two. Served a long time with an excellent police officer, so just wish them well in the future. Other than that, that's all I have. Take any questions, anybody else?
Would you bring those to the board, retirement individuals? Are they incredibly?
Yes, I'll
Okay,
be happy to do that. Thank you.
Even Nashi Schumberger has noticed, the chiefs are at a training tonight for the new radio system. That's to take effect at the end of February, so that's why I am here. Chief Schumberger just asked us shared that for 2025 we reached 800 calls, which is a new record, a milestone for us. So keeps getting busier and busier. That's it.
Thank you. So next we have the Public Improvement Committee, which is the manager of Public Sustainable and our assistant manager. You can see this. Planning and Zoning Committee. Mr. Wells.
I have no items for the agenda tonight. Yeah, so
And to the Public Improvements Committee.
We have no report this evening, except that the next meeting will be January 20th. At 8:30 AM.
Thank you. Next we have sanitary sewer system. Any report there? I don't see anybody from sewer.
There's nothing. On sewer.
Okay, thank you. And next we have the administrative committee item, and that is to schedule and advertise a public forum for your bishop Richie. And I believe that may happen as early as next week. We want to legally advertise the meeting. I would suggest if there were we have the public speakers, how many want to speak on Bishop Richie? I'll pull some of their fire until the meeting next week.
I thought what was previously decided that public comments would be taken under number 8.
At the end.
There's a section.
Okay.
But I think this item was to establish a public forum informational meeting, and as you suggest, I think January 12th was suggested as a time. I think also February 3rd and 4th. I don't know how much time it takes to inform the public because we're not. In further information and checking with the solicitor, a public forum does not have to be legally advertised, so we need not worry about the calendar if we want to do it on January 12th. But I mean, the legal advertising requirement is really not an issue, so we could go as early as 12. Or if we need more time, I think in that poll we had, there was a date later in January and also February, but then it's up to the board as when we want to have that. But the purpose of the public forum is through the years, we've had people come in and describe or express concerns both for and against the bridge and what we should do with it, etc. And so the thought with this is that we get together in the night and devote the whole evening to hearing input from the bridge and the habitat. So I don't know if we want to schedule that for the 12th or later. I don't know the will of where we going to the schedule.
Let's see, Alexis has done some research on it.
Can you speak in here like the
Sorry, I think I used to it. It looks like Alexis has done some research on it.
Well, then I think I amended that later today, Alexis can speak.
Yeah. Is this on?
Yes.
Yeah, we determined that, because it's a special meeting, we only need to advertise it 24 hours in advance. So we can actually push it up further into the month. And so January 12th does work, if it works for all of you.
And my understanding is that you're not required to advertise in these things, correct?
That's fine, but we certainly want that. Market it.
One side is legal.
Before we had time to see a notice.
You're right.
Wait.
So I would move for authorize.
I think this was the one.
My understanding when the question was presented to me is this is a public forum to take input from the public. And it knows the determination will be made by the board. If there's a public meeting in which a determination is going to be made by the board, that does have to be advertised 24 hours in advance of the public meeting. So it depends on, do you plan to take action at this meeting or you just plan to listen to the public's?
Think you kind of listen to the meeting, and then hopefully that's also our professionals in this work preservation, so forth, but also give us some information.
Okay,
So I didn't anticipate a decision.
I think to be fair to the process, I suggest Mr. Fairchild, that we invite as many people as we can, experts, citizens, whomever, get input, and then give us the chances of newly formed board to kind of talk about the pros and cons and the possibilities, and then bring proposed action later to a public meeting.
I agree with that, Mr. Martin.
I think Bill.
So I would move to authorize staff to schedule a public forum regarding Mission Bridge.
On
January 12th, I'm sorry.
I believe that's at 6:30, yeah.
6:30. Second.
All those in favor,
Aye.
leave that unanimous. Pleasure.
So you're the first to hear, and we will certainly put the information out through social media and citizens groups and neighbors, but January 12th, that's tonight or week at 6:30 is when we will have meeting to gather information solely focused on Bishop Ridge.
But no actions taken.
Correct.
Okay, next up is item 7 on our agenda, which is the Park and Recreation Committee.
We don't have anyone recorded that.
Thank you.
Hold on, for Birdtown, we have an event next week. It is on Wednesday at 6:30 in this room. It's Birds of Prey presentation. It's gonna have live raptors. This is an encore presentation, so seating will fill up based on the last event we did, so get here early. Next Wednesday, the 14th.
Next we have a solicitor update.
I have no update, but I would request an executive session tonight to bring the commissioners up to speed on the identification matters.
Yeah, very good idea. Thank you. And we will announce that at the end. Executive session. Next we have the tax collection committee.
Not the report.
We have a capital region cog update.
There's nothing to report in regards to the COG, but there is an upcoming event, so you know. Let Alexis know, he's to go as soon as possible.
That's the annual dinner on January.
And we have on this municipal advisory board. Update. Didn't say I have nothing support. What happened, we have Pennsylvania State Association. That's update.
Nothing.
So we're down to public comment. I don't write in front of me in the sign-in sheets.
Oh, I was waiting until the president was leaving.
Bishop Bridge Potential Issues Appreciation. That's it, just go on word, Mr. Seven. Wish to see.
I'll save my comments for the January 12th meeting.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Klein, representative Mike. That's Ralph.
Thank you. My name is Ralph Klein here. I live at 103 Bishop Road, adjacent to the bridge. And I have a number of questions. Hopefully the forum will address those, but the questions that I have would be guarantees on the vehicular use of the bridge and the guaranteed maximum price if the bridge is conveyed and rehabbed. Second question I have is there a business plan? I've been in construction development for 44 years, had my own company. And we undertake a project, you have a pro forma, you have a business plan that addresses sources and uses, the design team, the timeline, procurement requirements, the vetting from PennDOT, the Historical Society, the ongoing insurance liability, the maintenance costs. I have not heard or seen anything. If it becomes a pedestrian bridge, I really have to question why. It's the bridge services 6 residents in Upper Allen Township. 6. Messiah University wants nothing to do with bridge. There were restrictions on Bishop Road when the road was dedicated to the township in 2006. Lyon Township uses the bridge. Anyone that walks across the bridge, 99% of those people are from Lyon Township. Where are they in this process? Those are the kind of questions that I have, so I just think if common sense prevails, this makes no sense. This is a bridge to nowhere. This is a bridge to nowhere. It belongs, if you want to save it, it belongs in a park, it belongs in a museum. That's a case study that's been done before. Bridges have been relocated so the general public can enjoy them. I'm not anti-preservation. I lived in a farmhouse in Des Moines for 30 years. 1850 was built. I had a cabin in York County that was built in 1790. I'm not anti-preservation, but this project makes absolutely no sense from a taxpayer standpoint. It serves 6 residences in Upper Allen Township. So I hope at the forum, those questions can be answered. We can see a business plan for this proposed project. Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
We have Mr. Ballmer. It's a former mission.
Good evening, my name is Paul Riggins, 605 Levina Drive. At first, I want to congratulate Ms. Clark and Ms. Oakley Smith on their election. I know you've taken on a lot of responsibility as the board member. I want to be clear that the decision to accept this bridge or not to accept the bridge is in your hands. I make no mistake about that. None of us have a vote. It's on your shoulders. Some of the members of this board have said to me in so many words that I ran for office on saving the bridge. How can I backtrack now? There are 2 reasons you can change your mind. And by the way, I'm not trying to preach to you, but I've been in your seat and I've learned a few things along the way with my 14 years of service. Like all candidates for office, we run on our intentions. We intend to do this, we intend to do that. And then we have to govern a whole different situation. That's what I did. I ran on intentions with a modicum of knowledge on municipal government. When I began serving on the board, I realized a couple of things. People aren't as dumb as I thought, and I'm not as smart as I thought. We have some very talented staff. We have some very informed residents, and I learned to listen to them, and I hope you will too. The other thing I had to realize that when I talk to 100 or 200 people when I was running for office, I didn't represent just 100 or 200 people. I learned that I represented close to 25,000 people in this township. And that's precisely why, as representatives in a democratic republic, we are asked to learn to study the issues and govern on what's best for the township, despite what you may or what I thought before taking office. Do not let something that you believe in your heart of hearts for something serve the best interest of the residents of Upper Allen. Do not vote for something that you do not believe is right for the township. And I ask you not to let pride or the fear of embarrassment keep you from doing the right thing. Do not let the pressure of others dictate your vote. I have just a small list of questions that I'd like to ask you. Why does Cumberland and York County Commissioners not want to restore this bridge? They want to demolish it. What purpose will the bridge serve Upper Allen residents? Is there a township plan in place to guide the township's restoration of the bridge? How will we finance a $2 million bridge restoration? And I guess that's an estimate because I've heard numbers all over the place, and I have yet to see anything presented to the public that has actual figures. Is the state going to shoulder any of the cost? Are private funds pledged for the project if it proceeds? What is the historical value to the township? Has Monaghan Township expressed interest in helping fund the restoration? What is the practical value in restoring it to vehicular traffic or pedestrian traffic? I believe these questions need to be answered before any talk of accepting a bridge. Finally, I would like to see on the website what preliminary work has been done on the project, so everyone's on the same page. I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Next we have Joe, and Bonnie, and Richie. I'm shaking their head at our great none to speak. Next we have Jim Hopper.
Good evening, Commissioners, and congratulations on your emissions. I just have two brief topics I'd like to raise, and neither one of them on the agenda tonight, and they are kind of tangentially related to the bridge. So first, I want to provide some context regarding our local tax burden. While we often highlight that Upper Allen's municipal taxes are lower than our neighbors in first-class townships like Lower Allen and East Pennsboro, we must look at the total picture. Because Mechanic Riviera School District taxes are the second highest in the county, Upper Island Township residents actually face the highest combined real estate tax burden of any township in Cumberland County. That's where we are today. I ask that you keep this dubious distinction in mind as you consider new expenditures. Second, following a state mandated and Cumberland County finance, April 2024 HRG bridge inspection, Upper Island Township was confronted with approximately $420,000 in repairs across 9 currently owned township bridges. While work on Bridge 105 is underway with county support, there's some concerning development regarding this funding. At their December 4th meeting, the Cumberland County Commission indicated they may withhold $70,000 in previously allocated bridge funds to recoup Bishop Bridge engineering fees if that bridge is not dismantled. Are you aware of any changes in the county's position on this matter? I'd like that introduced. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Margaret.
I will wait until the meeting next week.
Okay, thank you. Daryl Lamont. Awesome. I'll take a picture of that. Daryl. Okay, Chelsea Lighty. Anybody? Richard Daniel. Lauren Livingston.
I'm not gonna speak tonight. I have no comments for this evening.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, and Bill Morrison.
Good evening, Phil Martin, 902 Herzl Road. Much of my questions were answered by the previous speakers. I can't believe this is still going on. You know, you think you close the chapter on a book and then it gets opened right back up. I have a 14-year-old son back with me. He's studying to be an Eagle Scout. I have a 9-year-old daughter at home. When you play a game, you have a winner and a loser. The participation trophies, everybody's special, I get it. That's great. But we need to learn that sometimes decisions are made, you move forward, you learn from it, you try again next time. And I feel like this just keeps coming back and back around. I'd love to see a proposal of the actual costs on this bridge. I know there's been figures thrown around. I know there's petitions, 400 signatures I looked today. I think 64% were from zip codes 17055, 17050, and 17011. The rest are from outside our township. Why did they have a vote in how we spend our tax dollars? And then that 64%, how many are actually from our township? If they want to vote, open their wallet. Why are we taking contributions through that website to help fund this project? We could the folks here sitting in front of me could have reached out, sought private funding, sought funding from historical boards or whatever the case may be. But none of that work has been done, and yet here we still are going through the same motions over and over again. You know, if the 400 people that signed a petition care this much, it's about $2,500. We can collect their money, save the bridge at your $1 million cost. And what's to say that that's not going to go over that cost? Is that a max allowance? They're going to build it for that $1 million and it can't go over? These are all questions that have been just thrown out there without any answers. I live on Herzl Road. It's the road, I'm not sure if the road or the bridge is a max weight of 5 tons. We have 6 school buses daily that drive across it, well over that weight limit. We have trash trucks, recycling trucks. We have construction vehicles for autumn chase being built right up the road that go down Herzl Road every day, even though they're not supposed to. What's the wear and tear on my road? Where does that fall on the township's priority list? And if we use money on Bishop Bridge, it's taking away from other needed improvements in our township. Thank you.
Yeah, Williams.
I will hold my comments to the forum, but I think by the applause, you should be ready to hear.
That includes who has signed.
Apologize, I didn't see the first one.
Sure.
Eric Clancy, 53 Emerald Lane. I guess my question is this a bridge or a part of a trophy collection? If any PennDOT funds are required for the Bishop Road design, it will have to be a compliant PennDOT design and meet compliant standards. That includes not just design and testing of the superstructure of the steel structure, but the abutments and the foundations underneath that bridge. Have they been analyzed today? Have those foundations under the abutments, not just the steel, have they been analyzed? Do they meet the current standards for a bridge that spans that the creek there? Any public money will require design, bidding, prevailing wage, township match. If liquid fuels money is to be earmarked, this will require that the bridge be made sound for vehicular traffic and cleared by PennDOT. Specific call out in liquid fuels tax money that PennDOT has to qualify it. Is that a $5 million project? Is that a $10 million project to restore from the foundations to the abutments to the superstructure? Is that what it's going to cost to get that bridge up to vehicular standard? Not knowing puts the township at significant risk. Upper Howard's 2025 annual liquid fuels tax allocation from PennDOT was $676,104.79 for liquid fuels eligible projects. This would not qualify for that. In fact, historic projects are explicitly forbidden by PennDOT for liquid fuels tax application in section 1.5 of their program, liquid fuels tax program. What township priorities will be set aside to accommodate this, and for how many years? That includes grants. So if we had any parks that we wanted to get grants for, now set that aside, because now this bridge is gonna come in there, and if because we're only gonna get a certain number of those grants. And I spend a lot of time with, you're saying that that's our priority to the exclusion of all else. So that's the way that program works for public money. The key issue to me is that the cost of this in perpetuity will be borne by the 9,000 households of this township. So that's where the money's gonna go. And as Jim pointed out, we right now have the highest gross millage rate of any first-class township in Cumberland County. And that's just the way it is. I'm not saying that we have too many services or what have you. I mean, we have what we need, but that's what has resulted. That's what's resulted. Rehabilitation of this bridge is far beyond the steel superstructure and certainly would require work on the aging concrete abutments and scoured footers. If your child is going to play college football and your grandfather had a helmet from Roger Staubach, NFL legend of the 70s, would you let them use that helmet? It was certainly not designed with the materials and safety features of modern football helmets. Your grandfather's helmet is a treasure, perhaps an inspiration, but not safe for use. Bridges carry our family. It doesn't make sense to apply a lower standard of safety for this one. If the township merely collects this bridge, it is a forever obligation of township taxpayers. How does this rise to priority over existing township application of capital funds? That's a limited budget. Access to other people's money, taxpayers' money, should not make this bridge a township priority, part of the township's collection. Thanks.
Anyone else, inside wishes to speak?
Good evening, my name is John Traer, 401 Kenneth Drive. Hopefully I'm speaking for some of the younger residents of the township. Regarding Bishop Bridge, I'm opposed to taking ownership of this bridge for the township here. The bridge has been closed for years with no demonstrated impact on residents. Traffic counts are pretty low. There's no complaints after the closure, and it really doesn't serve other than 6 people. The bridge doesn't solve the current transportation or safety problem. I work in construction, licensed professional engineer in the state of Pennsylvania. As Mr. Klein Peter said, these costs do accelerate upwards. Rehabilitation costs are one thing, and ongoing costs of inspection, maintenance, liabilities. They do not end after construction. These could provide a substantial burden on the township, as time goes on. Regarding the grant eligibility from the county or the state or PennDOT, we haven't really been given a clear picture of what these are. There's no guarantee this project would ever be grant funded at the level suggested. This eligible loan is not a public works justification. Regarding some things, the main questions directly asked is what specific functional problem does this bridge solve today that is not already addressed by existing roads? And how does this bridge serve the broader and growing township beyond historical interest for us? Thank you.
Anyone else? The more on time.
Sorry, I signed up, but I must have come in late, so I don't think you have it. Mike Klein Peter, 104 Bishop Road, that adjacent to the bridge, and I was encouraged to hear that this was coming up tonight, not for a vote, but for a discussion. All the previous indications were that there would be a vote tonight to accept ownership of the bridge. For those of you in the crowd that may have not followed this has been on the agenda no less than 6 times in the last 12 months. This is not a new item. There are hours and hours and hours of recordings, of discussions, of information that has been shared. The thing that concerns me a little bit is the speed at which we're moving into a forum. 1 week from today, we're going to get together and talk about all of this again. There is not a lot of new information to share. It's out there. It has been presented, it has been discussed, it has been debated. If there is new information, to share, fantastic. But at the end of the day, a lot of those facts have already been hashed out, and a lot of the points made tonight are certainly key to that. So I appreciate the consideration. I appreciate the amount of dialogue that we've had on this matter, but I think as you can see by the way the room is filled tonight, I have not seen a meeting like this ever in the years that I've been following commissioner meetings. So I'm excited to see the engagement, but I think you can also see the passion of the people that this is something that with limited resources, we have to be very, very respectful for. I can tell you that as a Cumberland County resident, we have not had reassessment in years. That's coming. So when we talk about limited resources, it's not just the taxes that we have around the township, it's going to be the reassessment that all of governments are faced with funding shortfalls. Cumberland County is no exception. Dauphin County is no exception. They all are facing it now, and that nasty word reassessment is coming up in conversations. That is going to further hamstring and put strain on this township and its residents from a financial standpoint. So with that, look forward to the forum.
Robert Schaefer, 904 Peach Creek Drive. I don't know if this will be seen as anticlimax, but I want to address a different issue. I mentioned it to Mr. Welsh earlier tonight. As I took out our Christmas tree, left it to the backyard, I wondered whether it is possible for Upper Island to have the same kind of mulching of Christmas trees that I know Hampton Township has, at least according to their website, and I know for a fact that Carlisle and Borough has. I do understand that there are logistical challenges in the winter, you know, who knows when the snowstorm is going to come. There are also challenges with Christmas trees in terms of mulching, because many people keep tinsel on them. But I wonder if it is possible for the commissioners to direct the staff to poll the other townships or the borough of Carlisle. How is it working? Is it feasible? How much does it cost? How much does it keep out of the landfill? And this is an issue that obviously is seasonal. I wouldn't have thought of it if the meeting hadn't been tonight. So thank you.
Anyone else? Leave it up here. Okay. All right.
You aren't gonna get away from being fucking. No, worries. Sharon Howard, 2479 Common Drive. I will be at next week's meeting. I would like to get additional education on it. One question I have for this evening, can you remind me when the original RFP went out for the Bishop Bridge? Do you have that date?
Let's see, October.
I know we met with the county in August, and they were gonna go out at that point, so it is late September, early October
Oh, what year?
this year.
That's the county bid. I think he's asking about our.
Yeah.
Josh might. September, October. 2024.
I don't remember that.
We can look it up.
Yeah, I have a question. With the any RFP that I've always participated in had certain set dates where the contract was awarded. And that any respondents that bid would expire. So I know we've thrown numbers back and forth. I've heard numbers from various commissioners, and that number, I didn't document it, has been cited a number of times by one respondent. So my question is, that that number still stand today? Would that have to go back out for rebid if we took ownership of the bridge? Because the RFP could come back at a much higher amount today than it did a year's, whatever date that was. I apologize if I read the date again. My other comment is, I posted a poll and I'm hoping for anybody listening who hasn't yet voted, on the Upper Allen Community Facebook page. It's only been up for 24 hours. When I pulled the numbers prior to coming tonight, 272 people have responded. Of those responses, sorry, I'm dealing with a little bit of congestion. Of those responses, 6% were in favor of taking ownership of the bridge. 68% said no, and 26% said they weren't sure. They didn't have enough information to say one way or another. So that kind of aligns with the meeting that is established for next week. I hope that 26% that is not sure takes the initiative to attend, ask questions, and learns about the bridge. But I'm hoping next week that we can get more information, see it in writing on costs, funding, and so that we're not just taking word of mouth and minute meetings. I'd like to see it documented. Thank you.
Anyone else? I would just make a general comment, like collective, that Bishop Bridge was in our budget last year for $900,000. And I don't believe anybody commented yes at that time. Just for that. And then there's some information I'm not sure the township can release, and that is like the bridge inspection reports. It's an extended inspection by CSA. It's in 2021. They all had disclosures about elected officials or professional engineers can look at it, so. But are we allowed an extra from that, looking at the solicitor, just to, because we would like to share as much.
That's something I can clarify, meeting on the 12th rather than.
No, I know it's been very in executive session, asking that there's a limitation on some. For whatever reason.
Oh, I'll have to do that.
Okay. All right, well, I believe we're concluded for tonight, and we'll go into executive session. So we are for discuss legal matters.
Yeah, so discuss pending litigation and no action.
Thank you. So we are adjourned. We're not